All right, Shalom. For the brothers of Great Millstone, the branch out of Des Moines. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kakodash.
double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you brothers preaching the gospel of truth and the sincerity, all of charity. And see, the title of the lesson is it's inspired through the Holy Spirit. Apostle Tahar had uploaded a video going into my man Danny Garcia, boxing coach, and he left a link within the description box, and he encouraged brothers to watch it. So through the Spirit, we watched it, you know, and it was key points that was said in there, man, that could be applied in the Spirit, man. You know, he mentioned about how one of the great boxers of all times, Sugar Ray Robinson, his motto was to stay active. You know, to stay active is what continue or what allows him to stay so great. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the title of this lesson is entitled "Activity is the Key to Longevity," because activity within this faith is what allows us to continue to push forth. We see the examples with our apostles, man. They never took no breaks. They didn't take no time off. And look where they're at now. You see? Still pushing through the Spirit of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah. And also, it was another boxer where he said, I forget the name, but he said that rust or rest is rust, man. So when you take time off and you just sitting there idle, what happened? That's where that rust comes in at. So it goes into us being active within this faith. Matter of fact, we can get Matthew 13. He that hath, it shall be given him to abundantly.
This is Matthew chapter 13 and verse this is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 12. It says, "For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance."
Meaning what? Meaning he's using it, he's applying it, man. See, we got this knowledge, we got this in order to what? In order to put it into effect. Same thing when you listening to a boxing coach. He's telling you these different things, these different techniques, these different foot movements, right? In order for you to use it, to utilize it, man. Because if you're not utilizing it, what happened? You're going to get your ass knocked out. Well, we're in a battle right now in the Spirit, you see? So we got to utilize these things. We got to keep our guard up. Watch for the jab, you know? Perfect our footwork. And this is all what? Being applied spiritually to the Spirit. Because that's what Paul likened it unto in 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter. He likened it unto running a race. He likened it unto actually a boxer, being in the gladiatorial games, man. You know, you got it.
This is 1 Corinthians.
So let's finish that Bible shot.
This is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 12. It says, "For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance."
So that's those that's active, right? Those that's continuing with the talents or flipping the talents that the Lord has given us. Just like you might have a natural talent for fighting,
right?
But you need to what? You need to hone those skills, man. You know,
that's a spirit. Because I was watching Tyson last night when he was 16 years old. The interviewer said, "What about talent?" He was talking, you know, they're asking questions. He said, "What about talent?" He said, "I don't believe in talent." He said, "Well, talent is good, but if you don't work on that, then it's for nothing." He said, "I believe in hard work." And that was Tyson at age of 16, and look where he got, man. Working hard, man. And this man came back at 50 some years old, and he went 8 2-minute rounds. That's good as fuck for a 50-plus-year-old man. That's hard work, man. Hard work gets you where you need to be. Diligence, man. Scripture say, "Give diligence to make your calling and election sure." All right. If you do these things, you shall never fall. Diligence, when you go into that word, is the Greek word spoudazo, which means to study and to labor. So constantly studying, constantly in our book. That's how we perfect our craft. That's how we get better. That's how we grow in the knowledge of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. All right. So it says, "But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he had."
That's the rust, you know. So if you're not using it, what they got the saying in the world, if you don't use it, you lose it, man. Right? And that's the what? That's rest is rust. So we got to be always abounding in the work of the Lord, like it was commanded of us, man. It speaks about in Ecclesiastes, "Whatsoever thou hand findeth to do, do it with all thy might."
Yeah.
You know, in the book of Sirach, it speaks. Matter of fact, we had just grabbed these precepts, but you got it.
It is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all?
Right. So now we can go to we use these different, just like Paul, we use these different sports as what analogies of being in this faith, man. You know, look at Usain Bolt. You think that man became the fastest man alive from sitting on his ass? You know. Now I'm pretty sure he was real fast as a child. You know. What encouraged him to get into Olympic running? But what, man? He had to continually train. He had to strengthen his legs. He had to be practicing those strides and you know what I'm saying, in order to perfect it, to be a multi-gold medal winner, man. You know.
Right. That's Sirach 38. You know, goes into the different crafts and the different professions of someone that a carpenter or a smith, right? These different crafts, and then when you go into the 39th chapter, it talks about us being prophets. He said, "He that's occupied in prophecy and in the meditation thereof." Roughly paraphrasing, Lord willing, we can grab that also. But this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. Mm-hmm. And every man that striveth for the mastery.
So Usain Bolt ain't practicing year round to come in third. Right. He ain't looking at I'll take bronze this year. No, man. The effort that each and every last one of those different Olympians put in is to get that golden prize. They're not entering in thinking, well, seventh place would be cool with me. No, the mindset is what? That first prize, man. Well, Nelly even said it, you know what I'm saying? Well, I am number one, because 2 is not a winner and 3 nobody remembers, right? So if these carnal niggas can have that mindset within something that's corruptible, how much more with us with this knowledge that's incorruptible, man? In the book of Micah, it speaks about the first dominion shall come. That's what we want to be a part of, man. That first round draft pick, that first dominion, you know, but you got it.
Says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now that goes to being having self-control. That goes to being balanced. That's what that's going into it. The brother, really Paul, he's using these different professions as far as running or boxing and using it for this truth. We have to be temperate in all things. You look at the greats and they weren't bullshitting when it came to basketball, when it came to football, when it came to boxing. Especially back then, man. Back then, the boxers was different, man. Like that video was going into, they was fighting more often.
Bro, he said 40 times a year. Fought 44 times, bro.
Sugar Ray Robinson, he fought I believe 5 times in 1 month. It's hard for a nigga to fight 5 times in 1 year now. Hagler, I was watching this interview with Hagler, or not an interview with Hagler, but they was talking about Hagler because I was watching the Hagler versus the Hearns fight. Man, them boys came in there the first round. They say it's the best round in boxing history. It only went 3 rounds, man. They was about to stop the fight in the 3rd round because Hagler had a cut. Hagler ended up knocking Hearns out. But the point is, they were talking about Hagler and said, I've never seen him fat. You know, nowadays, you know, the boxers like Gervonta, he's not temperate in all things. That's going to catch up to him in the long run. He's going to find someone that doesn't have as much talent as him, but he's working harder, right? Just like Now in the Truth, your memory might be good or whatever, but that's your talent, right? Your so-called talent. But someone that's constantly in the scriptures, he's going to surpass you because you're leaning on your so-called talent, man.
You're leaning on carnality, you know, instead of what? Instead of putting in that hard work and dedication, man, you know?
It says, 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 25, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown.
Hey, he even Slocky, but he even mentioned about one fight, how they went 49 rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that shit was
like the fight was 3.5 hours long.
Nigga got knocked down 17 times.
How you fight for 49 rounds, bro? And he said at that point, it goes past conditioning. You know, guys worry about conditioning and all. He said it goes past conditioning. Now it goes back into the will to win. And we can that could be applied to us. At certain moments, it might get overwhelming. It might get exhausting. But that will to win has to drive us forward, man. And that's the will to serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We did that lesson yesterday. About what, man? What your fear? The fear is losing. The fear is getting knocked out.
Yeah.
You know, what's your hope? Man, you hope to be standing on the top rope with your arms raised, man.
And that belt, man.
That's the hope, which is salvation, you know, but you got that.
It says, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I.
Right, not uncertainly, right? You got guys that's in this race, bro, and they don't know, and they don't even fully realize what they're running for, man.
Fuck that, man.
No, you gotta know and have faith in what's behind that finish line, man.
Right.
What we're running toward. You know, in Hebrews 12 it says, set beside the sin that so easily beset us, and let us run with patience this race. Roughly paraphrasing, man. So we're in a race right now, man. So it says, run that we may attain, not uncertainly, right? No, we know we know the time and energy and training that we put in order to endure this race, and in order to what? To cross that finish line, man. You know?
Yeah, that's what the fight that's coming up, Danny Garcia and Spence, they asking them, so you got anything else to say to your opponent? I ain't got nothing to say. I did everything that I needed to do. I did my roll work. I did my sparring. I did all my rounds of sparring. I studied the film. I did everything I needed to do. I'm going to show you in the ring.
Right.
They did everything that they needed to do, and now they're assured in their mind, I am going to get the victory.
Right. They felt confident. You know, like we mentioned yesterday, man. You don't want to, when your Howard shot crack those clouds, all of a sudden you got all these regrets popping in your head. All of a sudden, man, I wish I'd have been more attentive. I wish I would have. No, man. You see, now we're doing these things now. So now they ain't gonna get into the fight and be like, "Oh, I wish I watched more film."
Yeah, you don't want to be in the 8th round getting tired and saying, "I wish I would have ran more." You know, I wish I should have instead of just doing 3 miles, I should have been doing 5 miles. Right? That's the type of mind frame that we have to have, giving everything that we can to this truth, so that when the hour of temptation comes, we're fully confident. And I did everything that I could do, man. And so, Lord willing, I'll be accepted. I laid it all on the line. I gave my all right? I did everything that was asked of me to the best of my ability, okay? And that's what's going to give us, that confidence, that faith here in these last days when shit pop off, man. All right? So right now, we're focusing on what? Building our relationship with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So when we get into them troublous times, right? When we get into them deep waters, we already know he's going to bring us out. He said, I'll be with you in the waters. Isaiah 43, I'll be with you in the fire. We ain't got nothing to fear. He said, my servant shall eat. Well, we've been serving him to the best of our ability. We giving ourselves wholly to this, right? And he said, he's not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. Your work, your labor of love. He's not going to forget none of that, man.
And what he say? And that ye have labored to the saints and ministered to the saints and do minister.
Active.
Meaning staying active, you know?
Yep, back in 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 26, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beeth the air.
Meaning don't know what you're fighting for, man. You know? Even when because you can liken that to shadow boxing. Even when brother shadow boxing, what's the goal? What's the purpose? You know?
Right.
To get your precision and get that tight. So when you actually in a fight, it's first nature now, man. So it's still a goal at the end. But you got guys that's in this fight and they beating the air, man. Meaning not knowing what you're fighting for, right? We can't be like that.
Yeah, that's,
you know,
that's unproductive. You know, really, you're doing nothing. Like if you finna do some bad work, what are you finna work on? Finna just go swing and do some wild shit? No, I'm gonna work on my jab. All right. So I'm gonna do a full round. Jab, 1 jab, 2 jab, 3 jab. You're going in there and you have a point, right? You have a point to reach. You have a goal. Like the brother said, a goal to reach. When you're shadow boxing, we work on my foot movement. So I'm a 1-2 pivot. All right. Or I'm gonna work on my head movement. So I get a slip, you know, whatever you have, there's a goal at mind. People, brothers coming to the truth, or people coming to the truth, I'll say, and they don't know what this is about, man. They don't know what the end goal is. Some people think the end goal is to have the biggest school. Some people think the end goal is to become YouTube famous or to get a fucking record deal, a Hebrew Israelite record deal. Now the end goal is to be saved, man. The end goal is to please Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and that we might obtain the promise, man. All right. So therefore, knowing that's the goal, we give our all to that, man. you're not gonna give your all. You're not gonna go as hard as you're supposed to go if you're doing it for any other reason. You see what I'm saying? Yes.
Yeah, I was just gonna add, moving with a purpose. You know, that's pretty much what it goes into. Moving in with a purpose. Like, it reminds me back when I was playing ball, but hooping or whatever. One of the coaches, he used to get on our ass because he'd be like, "All right, you doing all this and that and the third, like dribbling." He was like, "What are you doing that for?
Right.
What are you trying to do? What is the purpose?"
They want to do it to look pretty and fancy. Yeah. Oh, look at them handles.
Exactly. It's like you wasting energy. So because you don't have a purpose, it's just wasted.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like the same thing. It's like we have to have the mentality. What am I doing this for? What is the purpose that I'm doing it? Because if you don't have that purpose, it's just wasted energy that's not getting you nowhere.
Because I'm doing the extra dribble to get past the defender in order to score.
Right.
But then you got guys that want to dribble just to look cute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their whole purpose is not to score, or their whole purpose is to humiliate you, though. To make like what was my man's name? Hot sauce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which the and one was cold. The street ball was cold, but
it was purposeful. It was for entertainment, really.
Right.
You know, it wasn't really about necessarily who won or who lost, but and one that shit was like who would look the nastiest on the court.
Yeah.
You know, who had the baddest. But in this, that's why the scripture says, "Do nothing in vain glory." Like, this isn't just to glorify ourselves. No, we have a purpose. We're trying to get salvation. We're trying to exalt Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. These different things are in our minds, so we're moving with intent. You know, a lot of these, there's certain other groups and other camps and individuals, I say, they're moving in vainglory. So therefore, those movements that they're doing, it's not going to purpose them anything, man. It's wasted, you know, but just adding to it.
Because nigga do all these dribbles and say you're not going nowhere.
Right.
You did all that and you're not nowhere closer to the hoop. You did all these different moves. You didn't even get closer to the hoop. A thing that they used to say all the time about basketball is fundamentals, which is something else he mentioned in that video. He said, he asked him about Spence. He said, yes, good fundamentals. Fundamentals is your foundation. So in the truth, the fundamentals is the milk.
He said that's what makes a great boxer. Is being sound in the fundamentals. Right. And I was gonna mention a guy like Kawhi, right? Kawhi is not fancy. He don't show off when he play ball. He dribble through the legs, drive to the hole, simple dunk. You know what I'm saying? He don't motherfucking stretch out his, he don't Vince Carter dunk, stretch out his arms and 360. No, he go in simple, boom, and go. And what? He a two-time NBA. Exactly.
He worried about the victory. Like, hey, coaches used to be like, yeah, that was $1 million move, but a $0 finish. You know? That move, yeah, it looked nice, but you didn't finish. You did all that to get to the bucket and you missed the layup. And that's how pretty much these camps are. They get the accolades, everybody boosting them up like, oh man, y'all sliced and diced that Edomite up and this and that and the third. Yeah, look cool.
It's and one.
Right. Exactly.
You ain't playing for nothing. You ain't playing for no NBA title.
Right. You doing it for entertainment.
You know, it ain't no NBA title, man.
And the Lord isn't glorified in that.
There's no endorsements.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
not making no money.
You just add one niggas. You street baller. You know? But see, you know, and not boasting, but just it's true, man.
It is the pro league.
But this is that's the point, man. Man, you know, if I said that right, avant-garde, the vanguard. But yeah, it's
okay. Well,
look at Jake making me think. But no, go ahead.
So loud here from my ear,
making me think.
Making me think about it. This is one more verse. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and 27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. And so I keep under my body, man. Meaning I keep my body in subjection. I keep my body in control. I'm temperate in all things.
Right.
Going back to in between fights, you don't want to get too overweight because now that you have a fight and it's time to camp, majority of your camp, you're trying to lose that weight so that you can get down to whatever weight class that you're in. You don't want to go 30 pounds over and then the whole camp, instead of working on your skills, you're working on trying to get skinny again. You're working on trying to get back in shape. So being temperate on things and keeping under your body in between fights, let me watch what I eat. All right. I don't got to fight, but let me stay away from pizza, or let me stay away from bread. Let me stay away from them things that's going to stick. All right. And put on that extra weight. I'm going to still work out. Instead of in between fights and not going to the gym, I'm going to still go to the gym instead of 5 times because I got to fight. I'm going to go 3 times.
You abstaining from things that hinder you from getting the victory, man. You know? You abstain from things that that's detrimental to you winning the fight. You know, that's what Paul, he said, I keep under my body and bring it under subjection. So the brother is using the analogy of what these different fights. Well, actually, Paul uses, you go into that word keep under, it goes into a boxer that beats and bruises his own body into subjection, right? So like these different boxers, right? They abstain from dealing with women. They would abstain from eating certain foods, you know, doing certain activities. Right?
They'd even abstain. A lot of them would even abstain from seeing their family at times, man. They made great sacrifices.
And I was gonna use Kobe. Like, man, because of Kobe, to me personally, is like one of the greatest examples of commitment and dedication, man. Because that man was on the brink of losing his children, his wife. Now, before he died, you know that man loved his children. He loved his wife, right? But he loved basketball more. Didn't mean that he didn't love them. No, basketball was his passion.
His first love.
That's what fed his wife and his children, man. That's what got them where they at. So it's the same thing with this truth. You see, it's not saying that brothers don't love their wives or brothers don't love they children or what. No, this comes first because this is the breadwinner. This is what's going to allow us to do those necessary or to receive salvation. You know, this is what allows us to be cool even before salvation, right? You know, we go through different trials, tribulations, different financial situations, different things, man. And what keeps us cool, calm, and collected is knowing that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, man. That's the comfort. That's the confidence right there, you know. But if I didn't make this my priority, then what, man? You see, the uncertainty would be there, the worrying and all that extra shit. No, man, we got the comfort of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah because we know we putting in that work. So it's the same thing with Kobe, right? He was willing to lose what he had, man. But what? He was in the gym putting up those shots. He didn't even go on vacation with the other NBA players, man. We see niggas ride banana boats together and shit. Kobe didn't do none of that shit. Why? Because he said, man, he was worried about perfecting his craft, man. So it's the same thing with us in the spirit, you know?
This goes back to the point that the brother was making on having confidence, you know, and that confidence is built with knowing that we're doing what's pleasing in the sight of the Lord, really moving in the fear, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, you know. But anyways, this is the book about 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, but watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. Right, so this is what Paul was doing, man. All right, he endured afflictions, he fought. All right, made full proof of the ministry. He was constantly teaching. Right, so let's read the next verse, verse 6. It says, "For I am now ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith." So he was assured in this. He said, "I was fighting, man. All right, I kept the faith. I endured these things." Right, verse 8. Henceforth. So because he was doing those things, because he kept the faith, right? Because he fought the good fight, it says, henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day.
And that's that incorruptible crown, man. Like going back to the letter to the Corinthians, he said they, right? Floyd Mayweather and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and all that, they do it for a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible, you know? Ain't nobody finna be in the kingdom of heaven. This Floyd, man, he was 51. He was 50. Man, ain't nobody finna remember that shit, man.
That legacy dies here.
That it's gonna die here with America, man. Oh, Jordan had 6 rings, right? Undefeated. Never went into a game 7, right? The greatest NBA being called one of the greatest NBA players. That shit ain't gonna be remembered in the kingdom of heaven, man. You see, but look at the time and energy and effort they put into something that's going to pass away, man. How much more us for something that's going to be eternal?
Right.
You know?
So, well, that's why in that Baruch, the 4th chapter, it says, seek him 10 times more. All right. So we got to have that spirit and drive. All right. Especially seeing that this at the end, man. We at the last few seconds of this. All right. We ain't even going to be putting out videos for much longer, man, through the Holy Spirit. You know, they're going to shut this shit down. So it's really grind time to like put it all in, man. Put it all in, everything we can so that we could All right, cool.
Right.
I put it all down. Like Paul, he was like, shit, I fought the good fight. I put in that work. Hey, it's going to be a crown laid up. He that endures to the end, the same shall be saved.
Because what we doing is written. It's going to be written.
Yeah.
For instance, right, when Ahab and Jezebel was killing all the prophets,
right,
and Elijah ran and fled into the mountains,
and he felt like he was the only one.
And he said, Lord, I'm the only prophet left. He was by himself at that moment.
Right.
Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. In my absence, he probably didn't know that was going to be recorded. He at that moment was crying to the Lord, and the Lord said, I reserve 7,000 men that have not bowed the knee, and go do this and that. And he girded up his loins and did what the Lord told him to do. Well, we might be in those situations, man. Persecution is coming, just like during that time. So we'll be by ourselves, right? But that integrity that we're going to have, that we're learning now, the knowledge, the things that we keeping right now is what's going to translate into those times to come, man.
Yeah.
So when Elijah was by himself, he was in that cave by himself, and it was just him and the Lord. But we're reading about that now, about his integrity and his faith that he had. And it said he got beamed up because of that, man, in the book of First Maccabees, you know. But it's going to be the same thing with us. Shit, I want, our children that's going to be born, like how we read about our forefathers, they going to read about us, man. Oh, man, he did that?
Right.
Damn, you know what I'm saying? We could read about Elijah and how he called fire down from heaven 3 times, man. How he battled the prophets of Baal, he mocked their ass, man. Shit, is your God asleep? Is he in a journey? We can read about those acts, man. And so it's going to be the same thing with us, man.
I got a real just to land back on a point you just made. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and verse 1. Better is it to have no children and to have virtue, right? And virtue is having that moral goodness, man. All right, that character in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
And that word virtue was so heavy within itself because it got so many synonyms, man. That word virtue goes back into morals. It goes back into a standard. It goes back into strength.
Right.
And that all goes back into these scripts. It goes into manliness, vigor.
Yep.
And it all goes back to what? This knowledge, man.
That's right.
This is what allows us to be a man. This is what allows us to be strong. This is what allows us to have a standard, man.
That's right.
See, these niggas out here are moving without a standard. See, even within the boxing world, there's a standard. In the basketball world, there's a standard. They look at what? The guys today, they look at Mike Tyson as the standard. Oh, we got to get to him. So they put in the effort and the energy to get to the level he was. Or look at the basketball world. Michael Jordan is the standard. So they put in not at the fucking, what was that called? His documentary? The Last Dance. Now that The Last Dance came out, they see his mentality and well, now I got to utilize that. Now I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? But how much more with our standard that's incorruptible, man? And us being in the spirit, we can take traits from these different guys in the world and apply it in the spirit, man. Just like that interview. That was a badass interview, man. That was a badass interview. And one thing he said was that throwing a punch is the question, man. He said boxing is questions and answers. Throwing a punch is the question. How you react to that punch, man, is the answer, man. And it's the same thing with our everyday walk. When Satan throw those punches at us, how are we going to react to those punches, man? That's the answer. And the answer is all in the scriptures.
Right.
So we learning how to fight the battle. We're learning how to continue in this race, man. But you got it.
It says, better is it to have no children and to have virtue, for the memorial thereof is immortal, because it is known with the Most High and with men.
Why we read about Abraham to this day, bro? It's heathens that try to be a part of our covenant because of our forefather Abraham, man.
Legacy.
Because of his faith, his commitment, his love that he had toward Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's how his name reigns all the way from thousands of years till today, man. That's why in the book of Sirach it speaks about have care for thy name, because it shall continue with you more than a thousand. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get it, man. Because ultimately these guys care for their name. Going to the using another analogy, the movie Troy. Now Achilles in that movie, he told the little boy, the little boy told him, he said, man, the man you're fighting, That's the biggest man I ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him. Achilles looked at his ass and said, that's why your name won't be remembered, man. And rolled off on his little ass. You know? See what we're putting in? Why is King David name remembered, man? Everybody talk about David and Goliath, man. See, but this going back to not no carnal thing that our forefathers did. It's going back into their belief and their commitment and the love that they had for Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua. That's how they remembered, man. Right. So all these other niggas, they gonna be their remembrance is gonna die here in Babylon once again. I like to bring out the example of those renowned men in Genesis the 6th chapter. It clearly said that those men were renowned. So those men were famous, right? But once that old world was destroyed, what was those niggas' names? Name me one of those renowned men. I'll wait. Exactly. You don't know not now one of them niggas because they foolishness, they wickedness died with them. Right. So it's going to be the same thing when this world perish, man. Right. When this second death hit this place, right? All those renowned men, the Jay-Z's, the Michael Jordan, you ain't going to remember them. Them niggas not going to be remembered, man. But we do remember who? Noah. We remember Noah. Hell yeah, we do, man. You see? And that's the same thing we putting in now, man. In the book of Hebrews 11:7, it says, Noah being warned of the things that didn't happen yet, moved with fear to the preparing of the ark, to the saving of his house, man. And it said what? He condemned the world. That's the same thing we doing. It talks about the remembrance of Josiah. Man, how he in a time of ungodliness, he established the worship of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua. Look at what we in. This is the time of ungodliness, man. And there's only a few men who are establishing the worship of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua. See, that remembrance is going to carry on into the kingdom of heaven, man. But see, we got to be active. See, these things that we speaking about our forefathers, they were continual in their worship of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua. The word worship means service. You see? We can't stop in our service toward the Lord, man. We're the precept after the order of Melchizedek, right? And it was the Levitical priesthood was a foreshadow of the Malak Tazadak priesthood. Did the Levites have a day off? No, they ministered daily.
Even on the Sabbath, they had
even on the Sabbath, bro. And that was a foreshadow.
Right.
So we're doing these things in the spirit today, man. So to stay active is the key to longevity. We see the example with our apostles. What happens when guys take breaks? The rust comes in. We got the example of that too. Yeah. Where's these guys that the apostles speak about? They've been speaking about these niggas for years, and all of a sudden these niggas pop up.
Can't even break the scriptures down, right?
Want some type of praise or accolade. Right. Nigga, you disappeared, nigga. You rusty as hell. You know? And now what you were taught, you don't even know it no more. Now you twisted it and turned it. Well, that's that rust. And that's a scripture in Sirach also, man. It speaks about idleness teacheth much evil, you know? But yeah, we'll let the precepts talk. Go ahead, bro.
What? You want me to finish this or hit that one real quick? All right.
Whichever you want to do. I know I mentioned that Josiah. That Josiah is heavy.
All right, I'm gonna just smack these real quick. This is Sirach 33 and 27. Send him to labor that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil. So that's what happens. You get idle and then you get into wickedness. All right. And we have to walk in the spirit so that we don't fulfill the lust of the flesh, man. That's what the scriptures tell us, man.
Yeah, that's constantly feeding the spirit. Because the analogy that we was talking about the other day, if you got two bears,
yep.
The one bear represents the flesh and the other bear represents the spirit. Which bear is going to win in a fight? Whichever one that you feed the most, man. If you're feeding the spirit more, it's going to beat the flesh. But if you're feeding the flesh more, it's gonna whip your spirit's ass, man.
Right.
So which one is you going? Whichever one you feed and you work on, and if you're constantly in the spirit, then the spirit, when flesh carnal thoughts come in, you'll be able to conquer those thoughts, right? But if you're constantly in the flesh, when it comes to spiritual things, you're not gonna be able to get into it, man. And then soon you're gonna be out of the game. Soon you're gonna be retired, man. Yep. Or soon you're gonna think you're going into a fight, you're gonna get your ass knocked out.
Or you think you got it, so I don't need to train no more. Now I don't need, you know.
I read the Bible.
I'm this. What if Kobe had that mentality? He won his first championship. Well, Kobe said that's how Shaq was. He said Shaq would be eating Big Macs all goddamn day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kobe came out and said, look, if Shaq had the same work ethic as me, we'd have won 8, 9 championships, man. You know? But he said what? He said Shaq work ethic was garbage, man. See, Shaq had the size, he had the talent, he had the strength. But did he perfect those skills? No, man. He relied on what? Those natural things that he had. We can't rely on the natural things that we got, man.
Nigga.
Yeah.
I would just dunk on niggas.
You just a big, strong nigga. You know what I'm saying? Back you down. You
His
know,
whole career, nigga never could shoot free throws. That show you he never worked on his craft. If you was working on your craft, eventually, really after 2-3 years in the game, they gonna play hack and Shaq. They gonna go down you every time you get the ball. They gonna hack you. They send you to the free throw line. You're not making any free throws. In your mind, I need to work on my free throws.
That's my
he
weakness.
never did that. Yeah, he never strengthened his weaknesses, man.
but then he say, "Well, I made him when it count." Well, look. The point is working, man. It's working.
Diligence.
You know, putting in the effort, the time, and the energy into the craft. You know, but you got it.
Yeah, real quick, just to back that up, 2 Timothy chapter or 1 Timothy chapter 4.
Yeah, I was holding that too.
Man, that's the spirit. 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 14.
First Timothy?
Yeah, the water. 1 Timothy 4 and I'm gonna start at 13.
Come.
Till I come, give attendance to
Start at 11, brother.
Okay, 1 Timothy 4 and 11. These things command and teach.
It's a commandment. You know, go ahead.
Verse 12, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word and conversation and charity and spirit and faith and purity.
That's being an example, man. You know, the same things that you want to see in the next brother, it should be within you. You should be able to show forth what you're trying to say in deed. You know, so they like I'm saying it. No, you actually watching me doing it. That's like how Yahweh Shai didn't come and just all talk. I need y'all to do this and do that. I need you to do. No, he did it first, man. Same thing with made our king beloved. It said King David went in and out amongst the people. Like he was doing the things that everybody else was doing. So that's being a perfect example unto each other. You know, if we telling you, well, you should hone on to your craft, like Kobe. Kobe couldn't get on the rest of the guys in the practice if he wouldn't hold himself accountable first.
Right.
He couldn't be sitting back like, oh, nigga, you ain't running that right. You ain't shooting that right while he's sitting on his ass, ain't doing nothing.
Right.
Nobody would have respected him. Or the same thing with Jordan. When you watch The Last Dance, he was talking shit, you know, cussing his guys out. He couldn't have did that if what?
If he was bullshit.
If he wasn't on his shit, you know? So blood, leading by example, right? But you got it.
It says, verse 13, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine.
If real quick, it says, till I come, give attendance to reading, to doctrine, to exhortation. I looked at that word attendance. It's the Greek word proseko. And it says to apply oneself to, attach oneself to. So attach yourself to reading, attach yourself to doctrine and to exhortation, to hold or cleave to a person or thing, to be given or addicted to reading, addicted to exhortation, addicted to the doctrine, right? It says that in the book of 1 Corinthians, I believe it's the 16th chapter, the house of Stephanus, they were addicted to the ministry of the Lord. All right, the prologue of Sirach, it says that they're addicted to learning. Just
like these, what we keep comparing this to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tyson said, I was born to do this. You know, in his mind, he was born to fight. That's what he was born to do. And through the spirit, he was, man. See, these different people in their different crafts, they were born to do that. But here it is, we're in our craft.
Yeah.
That's Jeremiah 1. So we got to believe that, man. We got to believe that we were born to do what we're doing right now, man. So just like how these carnal niggas can, they don't just, once again, you know, and I'm look at the greats of these different sports, man.
Yeah, because we're not trying to be good. We're trying to be great.
Yeah.
We're trying to be the creme de la creme. We're trying to be that 144, man. We're trying to be the governing body of the world to come. We're not going to get there bullshitting. We're not going to get that lollygagging. Kobe didn't get to where he got bullshitting. Same with Jordan. Same with all the boxers, with Mayweather. And Mayweather, he wasn't drinking. He wasn't smoking. This nigga, he had a strip club. He'll run home from the strip club, right? That's addicted to it, man.
Bro, I was watching one with this nigga. This nigga said, I don't give a fuck what I got on. He said, man, I can be in sweats and Timbs and You know what I'm saying?
Right,
He said, I don't give a fuck. If it's on me to run, I'm finna run. He said, I don't give a fuck if I got Tim's on, if I got loafers. Like, basically, I don't care what I've got on and where I'm coming from. If the spirit if that voice in me saying that I need to run, I need to do this and that, he said, I'm doing it no matter what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was his mindset off something carnal. How much more us in the spirit, you know?
Yeah. Another definition that says to devote thought and effort to. So we got to be devoted to this, man. We got to be addicted to this. As it's going to say on, we have to give ourselves wholly over to this, man. All right, but you got it.
It says, verse 13, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee.
Mm.
Right, it said, neglect not the gift that is in thee. Now, that's the talent.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, you got it.
The talent, I mean, just using another analogy, the talent, like, let's say Tank Davis, right? He's very talented. He has that natural talent. But he just had a fight. During his in-between fights, what's he doing? He's with bitches and he's, partying and bullshitting, getting fat, getting overweight and stuff. But what's his adversary, Teofimo, who just beat Lomachenko, this nigga, he just had foot surgery and he was on a boot still in the gym. Gotta stay tight. Gotta stay tight. His boot just came off, nigga jumping rope, so really I believe Tank, talent-wise, as far as gifts, natural born gifts, he beats Teo. But Teo, he's working harder so Teo can really, beat Tank's ass. Because he's not as diligent, he's not as dedicated as Teo is from face value, from the outside looking in. So we cannot neglect those natural born talents, man. It's within us, but we got to continue to draw it out. We got to continue to build upon it.
We got to perfect it. We have to perfect it, man.
That's right. Hey, because the scripture, it says, neglect not the gift that is in you. Now, the gift that we've been given is the gift of faith. That's Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, right? But the scriptures talk about how our faith is like a grain of a mustard seed. See, it starts off as the smallest, but it has to be watered continually. Because if you don't water that gift of faith, what's going to happen? That faith is going to dry up and shrivel to where you ain't doing nothing. Because that faith is what drives us to do the work, the fear of the Lord, and so on and so forth. So if we aren't nourishing, watering, taking care of that plant, that seed that's been planted within us, then what happens? That seed dies. That faith dies off, man. So that's why we can't neglect it. I got that word neglect.
I had that too. Go ahead.
And that's the spirit. So that word neglect in the etymon online, it says omit to do or perform, meaning that you are active with taking care of it, man. We going into being active. We have to be active. Let me water. I got to water my gift of faith today. All right. I got to nourish this gift I've been given. I can't starve it out. Like I think you had put it in the group me. The brother had said, I can guarantee that
it's the brother Murph. It was his video. He said, I guarantee you did something carnal. I guarantee you did something to please the flesh today. So what did you do to please Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai? What did you do to please the spirit, man? And every day we're doing something. We make sure we do something to please the flesh, right? You go get going to get something to eat, that's pleasing the flesh. Or going to chill the bitch, that's pleasing the flesh. Every day you're doing something to please the flesh. So how much more when it comes to spiritual things? Every day we should be doing something to please Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That's the best way to look at it. Yeah. Okay, earlier I was chilling with this bride. Really before I go chill with this bride, let me do something to please the Lord before I please this fucking flesh, man.
And that's one thing about Murph. The brothers that know the brother Murph, he likes to work out. But and I'm a witness to this, man. Before that man touch a weight, every morning he wakes up, man, he practices the Hebrew and he makes sure he reads him a couple chapters out of the scriptures before he hit the gym, man. Every morning, man, that man wakes up and practice the Hebrew, read different Hebrew words and read the scriptures every morning before he touches a weight, man.
Yeah, he be having like 3 jobs and still putting in work, man. That's dedication. That's diligence,
See, that's not making excuses, man.
That's right.
They're not making an excuse of why I can't do this and why I can't do that. No, man. Adjusting accordingly, just like in a fight. Because man, he keep shooting his jab out there. I can't get in, bro. You supposed to adjust to that, man.
Right.
And that's what we're in. We're fight. This word allows us to make adjustments, not excuses, man.
That's right.
Not to make an excuse of why I couldn't do this or why I couldn't do that. No, because the Lord said, no temptation has taken you to what is common to man, but with the temptation, he will make a way to escape it. So guaranteed, just like the brother said, guaranteed you please the flesh. It's guaranteed that Yahweh Basham Yahushua made a way for you to do something for him every day, man. But see, we got to be alert enough to see that opening.
And then take the opportunity, being disciplined enough to take advantage of that. Because the flesh is, every time that opportunity presents itself, the flesh is going to come in.
And try to counter that. It's going to try to counter that. Oh, yes, I got time now. I got a nice little window to get a lesson in. But the flesh is going to tell you, take a quick nap, man. You know what I'm saying? The flesh is going to throw in to counter that. So which one is going to win? Whichever one you are feeding more, whichever one you are more dedicated to, right? Whichever one you are focused on. If I'm focused on the spirit, when that thought comes in, I got to get this in now. Right. If I get this in now, then later on, I can take a nap. But when I get home after work, okay, I'll be tired at work. Fuck it. I'll get through it. But I'm going to feel good as hell. And I'm going to have a weight off my shoulder that I already got a lesson done. Right. That way, after work, I have the opportunity to go straight to sleep. Or I might be, you get off of work, you got that boost of energy because you finally have work. I have the opportunity to put some more work in. I have the opportunity to get some extra credit in. Well, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. That's what my mind frame is trying to be. Let me hurry up and get this done before I gotta do all that. Let me do what I gotta do for the Lord before I gotta go and do my daily business, man. That way that way the Lord's work is already done. Then later on I can read. I can just read and just relax. Right. You know what I'm saying? And sleep good as fuck. Right. I don't have to go to sleep like fuck. And then I'm stressed out. I can't think of a lesson. Like, no, let me just put this time to the side and hurry up and get it done. And boom, it's finished right there. On to the next one, like the apostles say. Yep. It says,
continuing that definition of neglect, it says omit to do or perform, treat carelessly or heedlessly, treat with disrespect or without proper attention or care.
That's now going back to that Matthew 13. He that hath shall be given to him more abundantly. Why? Because he's attending to those things. He that have not shall be taken away even that which he hath. Meaning you had it, but you wasn't giving no attention unto it. So therefore, you neglected it. So it was taken away from you and given to somebody else that appreciated it, man.
To make light of, disregard, be indifferent to, not heed, not trouble oneself about. Like it's nonchalant. I don't really care. And the scripture says in Sirach, the chapter, putting that off from day to day. Of course, we use that often, talking about all these niggas that ain't taking heed to the word, like, hey, don't put it off, man. But even us in the faith, like, putting that off from day to day. I need to get this done. This is the Lord's business. Let me take care of this. Because one thing we don't want to put in jeopardy is the hedge that the Lord has around us to protect us and to get us through these things. See, when we don't take care of what we need to for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that hedge is in jeopardy. That safety and the things that we're coming into is in jeopardy if we aren't taking care of the business of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that he's given us to do.
Right. Because we say it out here a lot in class, man. These things that we saying, a lot of things can be directed towards the rebels of our nation, but it should be applied to us first and foremost, man. So if we telling somebody putting out off day to day, but then here it is, I got today to do my lesson, but I can do it tomorrow. What's the I just put off the Lord, man. So now is the time that we gotta apply the same things the vibration we put out and say to these other people, man. We gotta hold ourselves accountable for it first. And I was gonna mention that it's a scary thing in the book of Jeremiah, bro. It says that he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, right? Now you would think like this. No, I'm doing it sincerely, right? I love the Lord. I'm doing it in the sincerity of my heart. But when you go into that Hebrew word and deceit, that word deceitful in the Hebrew, it means with lackness or slackness, man. So if you dragging your knuckles and bullshitting, that's doing the work of the Lord deceitfully, man. So we got to that's why the Lord said what, man? He said, I would rather you were hot or cold, So we got to be hot within this thing because the niggas that's cold, we know what's going to happen to them. If you lukewarm, you're going to get spewed out and you're going to be treated like a nigga that's cold. So what, man? So we got to be hot, man. That's why the scripture speaks about love one another with that's the spirit. It says love one another with a fervent heart, man.
I got one real quick. Romans 12:11.
I got that too.
Man, that's the spirit. I'll start at 10 just to read through it. It says, be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. That word preferring really means to lead. All right.
That example.
Exactly. It says, verse 11, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. So the scripture says we can't be slothful in business. We can't do the work of the Lord deceitfully. We have to have it in our mind, being fervent. I gotta get this done. I need to do this. I'm itching for it. You know?
Going to the meaning of the title lesson, man. Activity is the key to longevity. We can see that through what? Through our apostles. Why is the Spirit still working through them? Because the Spirit is on them to continue to work, to continue to push. Look at all these other cats, man, that stopped. You see? So as long as we follow the example that's set before us, man, that's the key. Staying active.
Right.
Give attendance to reading, exhortation, and doctrine. You know? I'm also holding this right here. You had more in there?
Just one more sentence.
One more verse?
Nah, in the definition.
Go ahead.
All right, Con. Just in that word neglect, this last point, it says literally not to pick up. And it reminds me of the plow. You know, it says taking your hand off the plow. So it's like you being neglectful. That's you putting your hand off the plow. Like that plow getting rusty, you know, not legere pick up. So not to pick up, man. So we can't be neglectful. We have to use this gift of faith. We have to be active in it. We can't just leave it sitting there or leave it in the ground, man, like that one parable.
Right. It says not slothful in business. Imagine you having a business. You don't open that business that day, you don't get paid that day. Period. Ain't nobody gonna come in and buy no products. You're not gonna make no money. It's the same with this truth. This is a business, man. All right. And if you got something,
yeah, this is Ecclesiastes 10:18. By much slothfulness, the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands, the house droppeth through. And how it can be compared to your business. Right. So if you're not giving attendance to your business, what's going to happen? That business is going to fail. You know,
it's the book of Sirach 22:1. A slothful man is compared to a filthy stone, and every one will hiss him out to his disgrace. A slothful man is compared to the filth of a dunghill.
A pile of shit.
Worthless. Every man that takes it up will shake his head. Shake his hand.
A pile of shit, man. Bro, the Lord. Now, this written in the scripture. So this is what lo I come in the volume of the book. It is written to me. So this is how the Lord view a slothful man, as a pile of shit.
This Sirach 27:3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. So, hey, again, we got to be diligent, man, which means to labor, constantly laboring, constantly building, man, constantly working. It says labor to enter into that rest in the book of Hebrews, man. And if you're not laboring, if you're not giving diligence, well, the scripture just said it. Your house is going to be overthrown. You're going to perish. Your woman's going to perish. Your children's going to perish in terrible ways, man. That should be enough motivation to get up and say, let me do what, and you get up and I got to go to work. Why do you have to go to work? You have to go to work to pay your bills so that you can have a roof over your head and your family's head, so that you can have food in your stomach, so that you can have clothes upon your back, right? Well, that's carnally. How much more spiritually? I have to get up today and work for the Lord so that in the times of trouble, I can eat, so that my family can be protected, so that my children can be okay, right? All that comes from serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We have to put things in a proper perspective. It's not just doing videos for Apostle Tahar. It's not doing video. What is the videos of Prophet Apostle Tahar? What is the videos of Prophet your camp head? All right, the videos profit you. Okay, that's you building your own ark to the saving of your house, as we mentioned earlier in the book of Hebrews, man. This has to be our mentality when it comes to this business, man. It says, let this mind that's in Yahweh Shai be within you.
Right.
He said, know ye not that I'm about my Father's business?
Even in Job. Job said, what profit is it to the Lord if you wicked?
Yeah.
If you wicked, what are you doing to the Lord? Same thing. He said, what profit is it to the Lord that you're righteous? It said that a righteousness may profit a man as himself, man. So what we doing is going to profit us, individually, you know?
I got a quick one on well, really a quick one. I just put it in slothful in the search, but this is Proverbs chapter 22 in verse Salakia. It was one specific I had up.
Well, while you looking for that, I got
Yeah,
something. This is Sirach 11 and 20. It says, "Be steadfast in thy covenant, and be conversant therein, and wax old in thy work." So that's what we're supposed to do, man. As long as we here, man, we're supposed to be what? The whole duty of man, serving Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua to the best of our ability. Verse 21. "Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord, and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich." So we have to abide in our labor, man. You know, that's what Matthew, is that Matthew 10 or Matthew 24?
There we go. Oh,
he
the
that
servants?
endureth, he that endureth unto the end.
Oh yeah, 24
24?
and 14. Yep.
This is the book of Matthew.
I got you.
Yeah, I got it right here too.
It's 1 and 10 too. But you got it. You got it.
All right, Matthew 24 and 14, and this gospel, or Matthew 24 and 13, "But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved."
Mm-hmm. And it then you read in Timothy, it says, "Endure afflictions,
Right.
do the work of an evangelist."
That's right.
So that's what. So we have to do those things until the end, man.
Yeah.
You know.
It says, "Follow me." Yahweh Shai said, "Follow me and bear your cross daily." So it's a daily thing. Following him daily. I'm not gonna follow the Lord today. I'm gonna just chill. You know what I'm saying? How does that sound? But that's what you would be doing if you don't do anything spiritual for the Lord.
Yeah, Lord, I'm gonna catch up with you later. You know.
Your eyes
Then
get left behind.
then you'd be lost in the desert somewhere.
That's why it says you got to follow wisdom. You got to be as one that traces, like following each step. Like, okay, we moving. Because if you get caught up and the Lord is moving and you looking around because you ain't moving with him, then it's like, oh shit, where
They
the hell?
followed the Lamb whithersoever he goeth, man. You know.
Get left behind like that. But this is Proverbs 19 and 15. "Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger." And that was going into what the brother was bringing out, man. You know, we go to work so that what? You can provide money and pay your bills, have your household straight, this and that and the third, right? Well, the same thing in this business, all right? Because if we aren't doing these things, what's going to happen? We're going to suffer hunger, man, all right? We going into a famine. This is how we're going to get protected. See, you could work at your job all day. The job is going to get shut down, you know? But see, with what we're doing right now, this is going to carry over, man.
Eternity.
Exactly, into eternity. Wow, into an eternity. All right, and even prior to the kingdom of heaven to get us through all this hell, man. This is another one. This is the book of
Real quick.
Yeah, you got it.
Proverbs 6 and 6. It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise." So the ants, what? They're constantly working.
They building towards the betterment of the colony, man. You know.
This is the one actually. This is Proverbs 20 and 4. "The sluggard would not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing." Just back up that precept that you was just reading. If you're being a sluggard, if you're being slothful, you're not gonna have nothing to eat, right? Now this is using it as, you know, as a farmer. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then you're not gonna have no food. But in a wider sense, in the end of the world, which is the harvest, you're gonna be begging, man. You're gonna be begging to be fed in the famine, but you weren't serving him diligently. So how do you expect to eat? How do you expect to drink? How do you expect to rejoice when everybody else is starving, man? All right.
The harvest is the end of the world, man. You know, these cats, man, they gonna be standing without, knocking, asking the Lord open to us too. You know, once again, going to the lesson we did yesterday, man. We don't want to be those guys standing without looking in. You know, you want to make sure you do all you can do in order to what? To get that seat. That's why it says get diligent. Matter of fact, I was holding this because the brother said, what? Faith is a gift, right? Something that was given unto us, just like what we was using it as Jake having a natural talent, right? But what happens with that natural talent? You're supposed to what? Perfect that talent that you have. You're supposed to add into it. Well, it's the same thing with this. This is 2 Peter 1. I'm gonna start at 4. It says, "Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these you might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust." Right? "And besides this, given all diligence, add to your faith." So the faith that was given unto us, right? So we should add to that gift what? Virtue. Now that's going back to Wisdom of Solomon. Virtue is a memorial, right? It says, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity. So you see how you add into those things, man. And you do that through participating in the ministry, by giving attendance to reading, exhortation, and doctrine, right? It says, verse 8, for if these things be in you and abound, meaning continually growing in these things, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Yahweh Shai, man. So we're always going to have what? Something to speak on, man, through the Holy Spirit. Because once again, it is not us that speak, it is the Father that speaketh within us. So if we're adding into these things, if we're constantly what perfecting our craft, then when we are our downtime, we watching a movie. Hey, brother, that's a pause the movie and get into the spirit, brother. That's a precept. And the next thing you know, you 2 hours breaking bread, and we ain't even finished the movie, man. You know, but that's what adding to those things, man. Being able to see these carnal things that we see around us, being able to pull out the spiritual things within it. But that's what being attentive in this work of ours, man. Abiding in it, you know, not looking at it as a pastime or not looking at it as just something to do. No, this is a lifestyle, man. This is what we love to do. You know, you ain't got to ask a baller, a nigga that play ball. You ain't got to, no, the saying, ball is life.
Right.
You know, that's what he loved to do. So it's the same thing with us, man. You know, the spirit is life,
right.
You know?
Yeah, because even in one of those proverbs, I don't know if you were reading that one, but it talks about the ant. The ant doesn't have an overseer, right, where he nedes somebody like, hey, man, you need to make sure you go grab up your food for the winter. Nah, they already know, man. Oh, that song? Yeah, 32? No. Well, the one that he just quoted, that's song 32. But yeah, the other one is like, hey.
Proverbs 6.
Yeah.
This is Proverbs 6 and verse 6. It says, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provided her meat in the summer and gathered her food in the harvest.
That's right. So here it is. The ant, it doesn't need somebody to, all right, look, you need to go do this and you need to go do that. Or the ant during the winter or whatever, you know, the ant's like, man, I'm gonna go do this other shit. And then somebody got to come in and be like, hey, man, get your,
He already know.
He already know what's up. The Lord already programmed in that ant to know exactly what needs to be done. Well, the Lord has already told us exactly what we need to do. Because we're coming to the harvest. The harvest is the end of the world. That's what it says in the Gospels, man. All right. So we're coming to the end. So right now is the time to gather up the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's necessary so that we can be stable in the times to come. That's what it says in Isaiah 33:6. It says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. So right now we need to be gathering up wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures, which is going to allow us to be stable in the time of the harvest. All right. Allow us to be stable when all hell is breaking out loose. Because what? We done gathered it up. You know, we got to have that mentality. Like even just applying this in the spirit, like it was even Elijah. All right, Elijah, he got fed by an angel. All right, I believe it was 2 or 3 times. And then and the angel had told him, look, all right, you got to eat again because you're gonna have a long journey. And it says that he went in the strength of that meal for 40 days, man. Well, that's how it's gonna be for us. We about to go into the famine of the word. All right, so we're gonna come into the time like everything you got, everything that you've been eating, you're gonna have to go off of the strength of that for the rest of Jacob's trouble, man. You know, and it's got to be within us, because if it's within us, it says, he that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So even when the videos get shut down, even when you ain't gonna be able to contact brothers, because it's within us, it's gonna be coming out. Like we're gonna have the stability. The word is in us, man. But right now is the time to gather that up before, hey, it's coming into before we get into this Jacob's trouble, man.
Right. It says Proverbs 6 and verse 8, verse 7, it says, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provided her meat in the summer and gathered her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? How long are you going to be at rest? How long are you going to be lazy? It's time to get up. Well, I got this. This is Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 13. Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. So Hey, now's the time to get up, and now's the time to labor. Soon we'll be able to sleep, meaning rest, right? So, going back into that Hebrews, labor to enter into that rest.
Read it.
The Psalms.
The Hebrews.
Nah. But I got the Psalms in the meantime.
Mhm.
This is Psalms 32 and verse 9. It says, "Be not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bit and brittle, lest they come near unto thee." So don't be like these animals who have to be guided, man. All right, who have to be constantly, pretty much what they call it in the work industry, right? They call it micromanaged, right? A nigga, you get hired, right? And of course you have to be trained up. But after a month, after that grace period is what they call it, you're supposed to know what to do. As a manager, I have other shit that I have to do besides watching after your ass. I come on the damn dock or whatever, and I see your ass just standing around, and you don't know what to do. Like, nigga, you been here for how long? You gotta get active. Go and fucking load some shit, or go fucking do some shit.
That's
man.
the first question that's asked. You know, well, how long you been here?
Right.
You know, if you don't know what to do, how long you been here? You know, for a guy to be like, well, I just started last week. Okay, okay, that's
right.
You know, but a guy that be like, well, I've been here for 3 months. So how do you not know what to do?
Right, man.
What you been doing for the whole 3 months?
So now it's applied in the spirit now, man. You know, you got the guys coming to camp, watching the videos. How do you not know what to do? Paul said, all the things that you have seen, heard, and received of me, do, and the power of peace shall be with you. In the book of Psalms, it says, mark the perfect man, because the end of that man is peace. Sirach, the 8th chapter, it says, miss not the discourse of the elders. There's another one in Sirach where it says, cleave unto him that is wise, wear out the door, his doorsteps, you know? And once you got that, then what? Now you know how to move on your own, man. You know, meaning what? Now you know how to build on your own. You know,
right? I have
another one, but you got it.
Okay, real quick. This is Proverbs chapter 22 and 13. It says, "The slothful man saith, there's a lion without; I shall be slain in the streets."
And all these scriptures we're reading about slothfulness, you notice it's excuses. That's like Proverbs. It says the sluggard will not plow by reason of the coat. That was an excuse. A guy is saying what? Oh, well, I can't go into the streets. It's a lion.
He won't go out the crib.
It's dangerous out there.
Right.
Yes, the niggas that saying don't go to the streets, man, and then teach.
These are all excuses
Yep.
that's being given, man. You know, and you got guys like that in the walk. It's always an excuse about why you didn't do this or why you did do this, man. No, look, the scriptures say that, man. Simple. You know.
Hey, what happened to those men in the parable Yahushua gave, man? It says the Lord had bid them to the marriage, and then it says they all with one consent began to make an excuse. One said, "Oh, I got a wife, I got to take care of this. I got land, I got business." And what it said, the Lord got angry with those men, man. So we can't have that mindset of making excuses. What do I need to do? Well, I need to figure out how to get it done, not make excuses. I couldn't do it because of this. Let me make a way to get it done. Like I remember, like it was a time I'm like, man, fuck, like I'd be tired as fuck after work and this and that. The third, man, I'll be getting, I can't read. I got to work these hours. Fuck it. Like I have to find a way to get it done. If I'm having an issue with that, well, then my ass needs to get up in the morning and fucking read. You know what I'm saying? Make a way for it to happen. You know,
or something needs to be adjusted.
Exactly.
Like I might have time in doing something else that I like to do. I gotta cut that off now.
That's right.
You know.
Right. Yep. Hey, because it's we have to be able to manage ourselves, and time management is a key aspect in that, man. You know, because once you get to a point to where you can manage certain things, then it's like, okay, I'm managing my time well enough to where I can go do this. You know, I can go do that. I can work out more, or I can go chill. I can go chill with this bride now because I'm taking care of what I need to do for Yahweh Shem Yahushua first. But if it's not being done, well, then those certain things got to be sacrificed.
No, I was gonna say, and it makes it so much sweeter. You know what I'm saying? Once you do something in the spirit, so then when you relax in the flesh,
clear conscience.
So it makes it so much better, man. You know.
I'll be bugged out if I, ain't been doing nothing all week for the Lord, but been getting all type of nuts off. You get on one and you're like, damn, it's like, fuck, I need to go do something spiritual. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel cut like, what the fuck? I'm over here humping on this rod and I ain't even opened my scriptures in 2 days. You know what I'm saying?
So now I'm neglecting her.
Right.
Now, and this is the woman this bitch is going to give me nothing but headaches. This bitch is going to give me nothing but problems. This bitch is not gonna feed me in a time of famine. She's not gonna shelter me in the time of calamity, man. But this woman right here, right? So fear this wisdom, all right? She's gonna. It says she's gonna. She makes you friends with immortality. All right, roughly paraphrasing, I believe it's Wisdom of Solomon. All right, acquainted with immortality. This wisdom is gonna bring us to the kingdom. Okay, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. This is our everything, man. All right. And if like the Apostle Tahar goes into a woman consents if you're not fucking with her, man. If you're not giving her the time, right? You're not replying to her messages or whatever it may be, man. She gonna go get someone else, right? But it's the same with this woman. If you're not giving her your attention, she gonna go give it to someone else. That goes back to the Matthews. To him that have shall be given more abundantly. Him that have not shall be taken away from him. Okay.
Hey, that's why the scriptures talk about the Lord being a jealous power. If we're putting our energy into anything else more than him, the Lord gets angry. That makes him like, hold on, man. And then what happens, man? The Lord will either jack us up, remove those different things that we're putting our energy into, man, whatever the case may be. But it would just be better if we could just discipline ourselves, so then we'll be straight, you know.
This is Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 15. Slothfulness. Did you finish on that 23 though?
I did.
Okay. This is Proverbs 19 and 15. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. That's bringing all the precepts that we bring now. Is adding it on.
That's right.
That's the point on that. And I had another one. This is Proverbs 22 and verse 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. A man that's diligent in his business, in this work, in this ministry, he's going to have a throne. He's going to sit with the King Yahushua, the King David, the rest of the 144,000. He's going to sit with them. But a man that's not diligent, he's going to be with the mean men. He's going to be with the average Israelites, man, in the kingdom. All right? Which one you want to be with? All right? The creme de la creme or the reborn Lil Wayne in the kingdom? You know what I'm saying? Like, you be chilling with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Which one you want to be with?
Little Uzi coming
out. Right, Little Uzi back.
They gonna be righteous.
Funny. Yeah, he's nigga funny as hell, but you don't want to be around that nigga for eternity. Like, I'd rather be around, I'd rather sit at the table with the Lord, and King David for eternity. I want those doors. I want to have access to those doors, man. The mean men. The mean means average, lower men.
That's the Sirach 38. The different crafts, the farmer, the blacksmith, the potter. Those are examples of mean men, meaning low. And it says what they won't sit high up in the congregation. They won't be sought for counsel. Yep. They can't pretty much issue the matter of judgment. And then it goes into the 39th chapter. It says, but he, it's showing you the separation. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Lord, who is occupied in prophecies and the meditation thereof. And it goes into how he's going to stand before princes, how he's going to do these different things, man. So it's showing that separation, man.
I have one. This is Sirach 32 and 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. And that goes back to that other Proverbs where that man said, the slothful man says, there's a line in the street. All right. I can't go out, whatever the case may be. So it's making an excuse like, I can't do this because of this or that. If I do that, then this is going to happen and that going to happen. Like, we got to have the mind. Like, this is the priority. Everything else is around that. So this has to be taken care of first. And once we come up short, but when we come up short, it should be a mindset to make adjustments. Like, fuck, I ain't get this done. Why didn't I get this done? Or why wasn't I reading as much? Why wasn't I, you know what I'm saying? Why didn't I get my lesson in or whatever the case may be? And then if we actually examine ourselves and be real with ourselves, we can make the adjustments, We can make those necessary adjustments so that we can get what needs to be done for the Lord's business first and foremost, man.
I got some. This Proverbs 24 and 30. It says, I went by the field of the slothful and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns and nettles and had covered the face thereof. And the stone wall thereof was broken down. Now we read that in Ecclesiastes. It says, through idleness of the hands, the house droppeth through. It says the roof decayeth. I'm roughly paraphrasing, right? Verse 32. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. So King Solomon was made wiser through what? Through the example of these slothful cats, man. He was like, look, man, I've seen how slothful he was and how sluggardly he was, and I received instruction of how not to be like that. This verse 33. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, in thy want as an armed man. So he said he learned through that, man. You know, see that guy that wasn't properly taking care of his vineyard, the guy that wasn't actually properly taking care of the things he owned. Guess what? When it was time to reap of those things, his poverty came, man. He was lacking. The stone wall was broken over, meaning what? The protection wasn't there, that hedge that the brothers talked about. The stone wall fell down. The vineyard wasn't producing anything that he could eat of. So what? Now he got to beg. Now he out there through. But no, we got to tend to our vineyard, man. What's our vineyard? It's our mind. It's our spirit. The scripture speaks about he that, how is it worded? He that tilleth his own land shall increase his heat. This is, man, Tawadi Habasham Yashai. This is Sirach 20 and 28. He that tilleth his land, meaning what? Sirach, the 6th chapter says, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth. So us tilling our land is talking about breaking up our fallow ground, as it is written in the book of Jeremiah. It's talking about our mind. It says, he that tilleth his land shall increase his heap, and he that pleaseth great men shall get pardon for iniquity. You know, but what, man, can continually what? Plowing and sowing, because we're going to reap, like it says in the book of Galatians 6 and 10, you know, or I think it's verse 9. It says, let us not be weary in well doing, because in due season we shall reap if we faint not, man. So all our work and effort and energy we're putting in, hey, it's going to reap in these days. We're going to see the results of that in these days to come, man. You know.
Hey, real quick, this is Sirach 2 and 12. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth 2 ways. Faint hands, man. So that's being slothful, you know, weak, you know. I ain't finna. I'll do a little bit here. Knuckles. You know, we can't have that mentality. We got to get out of that mentality if we are in it. It says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. So having faint hands, man, that puts that hedge in jeopardy of us being defended by Yahweh Shem Yahushai in these times that we're entering into, because we see us at the door. All right, Ezra even said, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days, man? So it's gonna get crazy out here. We want to have an assurance that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to defend and protect us. It says, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord will fight for us. Striving is fighting. All right, so we have to fight. We can't be slothful in this fight. All right, or what, man? We won't be
we'll get our ass knocked out.
That's right. That's fine.
Brother mentioned assurance, though, right? This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. It's Wisdom of Solomon 6, and I'm gonna start at 9. It says, unto you therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom and not fall away. For they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her. She preventeth them, that word prevent is Old English, it means meet. She meeteth them that desire her, and making herself first known unto them. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. To think therefore upon her is the perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline. And that's going back to 1 Corinthians 9, where Paul said, I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. He said that we must be temperate in all things. That's the discipline. That's the self-control, right? It says, and the care of discipline is love, and love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. So that brother said we want that assurance. Well, we have to be adding unto these things. That's how we're assured in our spirit, man. You see, verse 19, and incorruption maketh us near unto the Most High. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. You know, so being occupied in this word, man, it's teaching us proper judgment. It's teaching us how to become better men, better brothers, better husbands, better uncles, better persons, period, man. You know, so Tawadi Yahweh Basham Yahushua for the gift of the Holy Spirit, you know, and not to neglect that. Going back to that Timothy, it says, neglect not the gift that was given us. So we got to give proper attention and hone the skills or the gifts that was given unto us, you know.
Yeah, you mentioned that, Timothy. I'm gonna just finish it off. 1 Timothy 4:14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all.
Give thyself wholly. You got to give yourself your all into this word, man.
100%.
You know, got to give your all into this.
Everything.
You know,
What's going to be the result of that? Verse 16, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them. All right, that's being active, man. It says, for in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
Right.
That's it.
Well, it says we got the victory from the Most High through our Lord Yahweh Shai.
Mhm.
And seeing that we got that victory, therefore, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, man. That's being active in this thing. Because that's what's going to keep the spirit within us working, man.
Mhm.
It's by staying active. Once you become idle, then what happens? It teaches much evil. The rust comes in, and then what? Then you ain't
Yeah,
using
break the
it,
scriptures down.
you lose it. You know?
The scripture say in Matthew, it says, the Lord said, blessed is that servant whom when his Lord comes shall find him doing. Right? When the Lord comes, we want him to see us active in the spirit, man. Because if you're inactive, then he said, woe unto you, you slothful, idle servant, man.
He said, occupy till I come.
Occupy means to stay busy, man. Stay busy until the Lord comes. Busy in this ministry, in this wisdom. All right.
This is Hebrews 4:11. Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief.
That's it, man. You know, so Micah 2:10 says, arise and depart, because this is not our rest. It shall pollute us and destroy us with a store of destruction, man. So resting here is what's going to get that rust. And right now, what we supposed to be getting the impurities off of us, man. You know, the different dross and different things that's on the gold and silver, right? That's through sitting there and through weathering and then through just sitting off. But when you put it into the fire and you polish it and you clean it, well, that's what this word is doing. So we got to stay active within that. If we stop being, if we stop polishing and cleaning, if we stop putting it in the fire, what happens? Then it sits there, and then those impurities and that dross come back into it, man. You know, so we got to be active within this walk. But hey, that's it, man. So Lord willing, man, we hope that was edifying. The Wadi Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua for giving the spirit to do this lesson. We're gonna give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rachakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to all you brothers preaching the gospel and truth and sincerity, always in charity. Shalom, Makian.
Shalom.